Mike Chappell will open the discussion for Peyton Manning. And I know he's been waiting for this all his life.
I'll just say Peyton Manning. I would drop my laptop, but I'm not going to do that. So just pretend that you see me dropping the mic. End of the discussion.
Thank you. Unless there's anybody who wants to say anything on Peyton Manning, we'll move on. Anyone? Mike, thanks for that presentation. I wish they all were that short. Good job.
Some would say that the Hall of Fame should consist only of those individuals, of the ones where you need no discussion.
I hear you. I hear you.
That you shouldn't have to, if you have to debate it for 2 hours, the person shouldn't be in.
I think it's gotten a little loose.
That cuts against the, I've become jaded in my advancing age. It's a museum that they want people to go visit, right? And they want to have a big event. They want to have a big celebration every year. So you have to have new busts. You have to have 5, 6, 7, 8 new busts every year to justify the party that injects all this money into Canton as people come to town. And the more who get in, the more parties held in Canton, the more families come to Canton, the more fans come to Canton. It's a business, folks. That's just what it is. It's a museum that turns Canton into the center place of the sports universe for a day or two every August. So it can't just be the no-brainers. Unfortunately, it should be. It should just be, okay, Peyton Manning, yeah. Tom Brady, yeah. Aaron Rodgers, yeah. But the problem is you'd have one guy most years. Some years you wouldn't even have a ceremony. Right. There wouldn't be anybody who meets that bar.
Yeah, you're probably right. It would be hard. I would think, one thing I don't like is the minimum number. That's the one thing, I guess. I mean, why can't we have a year of 2 or 3 guys get in, something like that?
I just explained it.
I know.
It's a business.
But to me, it does take away from, the great aura of the Hall of Fame. Yeah, it does. And I don't want it to get watered down. I mean, I know it has no, direct affiliation with the NFL, but it's still very special in the grand scheme of football and everything like that. And I worry about that. I do. That's just
I worry about the dumbest things because I will have been dead for hundreds of years before it ever becomes a problem. But if you keep putting in 5 a year, eventually you're going to have so many busts. What the hell are you going to do with them?
Well, what's going to be so special about going to the museum and going, who the hell are all these guys? And where the hell's the guy I wanted to see and all that? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, those are things I think about too.
I mean, what was the comment that Josh Allen made to you the other day about there was a guy named Mickey Mantle? Like, the world keeps spinning,
right? And
people are going to forget. You have new generations. That's not part of their experience. That's not part of their knowledge. That's not a name they're aware of. So, I get it. I understand why they do it. They want people to go to the museum. At some point, they're going to need a big-ass museum to fit all those busts. But again, neither you nor I will be around to have to worry about that. That's going to be somebody else's problem way down the road.
But all right, with this group right here, like, first off, the guys that are just locks, like we're going to talk about, right? That we just go, okay, our Hall of Famers, that's it. You're talking, I mean, that's Peyton Manning, right? That's Charles Woodson. For me, it's those two for sure as slam dunks. Like,
yes,
you're in. Calvin Johnson, probably the next guy on there.
It's not close. First ballot. Didn't play long enough to be first ballot.
Okay.
I can't justify first ballot.
Okay, I can hear that. I don't know if I totally agree with it. I understand the argument. It is a 9-year career, okay, and it was like, whoa, we got to change our defense with this guy on the football field. Now, the next guys, this is a tough one. I'm, of course, biased to guys like Rondé Barber, who I saw in person and saw all the great things he could do within that Tampa defense, the Tampa 2 defense, how awesome, versatile, no weakness to his game. I love him. Of course, I'm going to sing his praises big time. The other guy on there, just from as a fan and somebody I look at, Alan Faneca, come on. It's one of the greatest guards of all time. Somebody's got to put him in. I know he's an old lineman. It's got to happen at some point. Richard Seymour, I'm going to piggyback off of Brady, though. That's the next one. Like, hey, everybody out there, have you guys watched Calais Campbell the last 10 years of the NFL career? Do you guys know Calais? Everybody's slam dunk Hall of Fame. Richard Seymour is Calais Campbell before that. and before we put notice on guys who mess up plays and ruin plays that don't get stats but are ruining plays and other people are getting the tackles, that for me, you're talking about one of the great teams in the history of the NFL, and the best player on that defense, or the two best, were Ty Law, Richard Seymour, okay? And they just, Seymour deserves to be in. That's one I would stump for hard.
You're speaking to one of the big challenges for the voters, which is all different shapes and sizes and types of football players thrown into the same bucket. And some guys can get overlooked when they don't have the dazzling statistics, when they don't have that obvious set of credentials that would get them in.
Right.
And there is a certain order that the voters try to impose on it. I remember, and I can't remember who it was, but there was an offensive lineman who got in one year, and I asked a voter, why did he get in? And the response was, there's so many other great players coming up in the next 4 or 5 years. If he doesn't get in now, he's never getting in.
Right.
To me, that's not a reason to put him in.
That's not a whole. Exactly right. I agree. That's that's politics. That's bullcrap. That's the problem with this process a little in general. Is there's some players and people, and it gets political, and they get newspaper people and other media members to get behind them to push their own narrative, and we've seen it works. It sways people to make it happen. Whatever. So that is something that, has to be balanced within this conversation.
I said at the moment Eli Manning retired, the campaign to get Eli in the Hall of Fame, led by Peyton and Archie, already has begun. And if you think it hasn't, you're naive. And he's getting in eventually. Maybe not first ballot, but he's getting in because his name's Manning and because of his accomplishments. But if it was any other name, it would be on the fence.
Very
right?
on the fence.
Maybe, right. But he's getting in because of his name and because he's going to have the weight of his brother Peyton pushing those voters to vote for him. That is that's a very real element here. It's one of the reasons why I want nothing to do with it, frankly. They don't want anything to do with me, so it's easier for me to say this. I don't want anything to do with that process because I would end up pissing everyone off. Sorry, London.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.